Hello everyone,
Hi everyone.
and welcome back to our YouTube channel, Sisterly Conversations.
Our next topic is I say our next topic like we're in school. Anyway, our next topic for conversation
Still do it.
is health card new and renewals. So I will give my experience on having a health card, how I when I first got my health card, and then I will talk a bit about the renewal process as well. So for me, I remember I got my first health card in 2020, I believe. I think that's when I got my PR. I can't remember, but I think that's when I may have gotten my PR. But anyway, um, so basically what I did was I went to Service Ontario. You can also apply for a health card online, and we will put the link the website at the bottom. So I went to a nearby Service Ontario. Service Ontario's are pretty much everywhere. Like you can look up on Google and find what is the closest Service Ontario to your location, and you can go to that Service Ontario. So then basically what I did was I brought a proof of citizenship or status, right? My immigration status, a proof of what your immigration status is.
Right.
So I took my PR, but you could bring like your citizenship. If you have your citizenship, you could bring like a birth certificate or whatever your status is. I guess you would bring it. Then they also ask for a proof of ID, not ID, sorry, a proof of your home address. So your driver's license always have your home address on it, so that would be a proof of ID. That would be able you would be able to prove where you live on your driver's license. Um, and then I see here they also say that you can bring a utility bill because a utility bill will have your address on it, right? Then they ask for proof of ID and signature. So you have your credit card. If you have a credit card, that could be seen as a proof of ID, which I used my credit card as well when I was going for mine. And then you can also use your SIN number paper. So we all get a document with your SIN number on it, and that have a lot of information about you. Um, and so you can also bring your SIN number as a form of ID as well. Your SIN number document or whatever. Your SIN number is, for those who don't know, is your social insurance number. Okay. And then very important, you do not have to pay for a new health card. So you just go with these three things: your proof of immigration status, your proof of ID, and a proof of address. And I'm sure if you want more information, you go on the website. They have a list of other things you can probably choose to. You can also use as proof as well for different things. But those are the main things that people have. And so yeah. Then basically you will be after you give them these different items that they are looking for, then they take a picture and your health card will come in the mail. And again, it takes, depending, it could take up to 4 weeks, it could take up to 6 weeks, and so on, for it to come in the mail, depending on the postal service and, whatever. So before I go on to talk about, and that's for new, that's for like when you are first getting your health card for the first thing, right? Before I go on to talk about the renewal process now, I'll let Tony talk about what her process was for getting her health card.
Okay, so for me, there's certain jobs that will give you a health card. It's not all. So it's more so the essential workers jobs, like in healthcare or whatever, even though you have a work permit. So at the time I had a work permit, and they asked me for a job letter for my immigration status, and then they asked me for ID as well. So I gave my passport. Um, and then I was able to have my health card. I took the picture, like Shanita said. What happened is, I think Shanita missed out a step. They give you a paper with your health card number until your actual card comes, right? And then you could give that to the doctor whenever you go to to see a doctor or anybody, so that they wouldn't have to charge you or whatever. So basically, that was my process, similar to what Shanti is saying, but I had to bring a job letter.
Right. So as Tony said, because for me personally, I didn't know that you could get a health card on a work permit. I've always been told that you had to be a PR or a citizen. So I guess like she said, if you're working certain essential jobs, you might be able to, you possibly be able to get a health card too, and yours was temporary.
Right.
So she had a certain date where she would have been able to show them, okay, I got. They give her this until she was able to get her PR. So it's a temporary situation. If it doesn't work out that you don't get your PR, then obviously, um, I guess that would be
That's
it.
it.
But hers was temporary for the till until she was able to get her PR. Then they give you a permanent health card or whatever. By permanent, I mean like you always have an expiration date and so on, but it's something that you can get renewed or whatever when the expiration date is gone.
Right. So for mine, because I was on the work permit for 1 year, they issued me a health card for 1 year.
Right.
But when you're a PR, I think it's 5 years, ain't it?
I
I
think
think
so.
I think it's 5 years. Yeah.
So right. So I think it is a 5 year um date that you get from the time you get your health card until the next date. But I have to say also before, because this is something that I find a lot of people um, don't do, or sometimes they get like the time goes by and sometimes you forget to look at the expiration date, right? And it's important to make sure you know your expiration date so that when the time comes up for you to get to renew your health card, that you go 3 months beforehand. Because the thing about it is that without the health card, um, you can't really, you could see the doctor, but you probably have to pay out of pocket if you don't have your health card insurance, right? So basically, for example, um, with me, I knew my health card was going to be expired this year in March, and I was going to renew it in January. But even though in my head I knew that the health card would expire in March, there like so much things was happening and I had so much going on that I totally forgot about the health card. And just a quick story. And then now, so in March now, I went to the doctor. I had to get like a letter from the doctor for school or whatever. Nothing serious, but just in case you have a serious situation that you have to go to the hospital or something, you want to make sure that it is renewed, right? So I went to the doctor and basically then the receptionist looked at me. She's like, "Do you have a new health card?" I'm looking at her like, "New health card for what? What are you talking about?" Like even though in my head I said January I'm gonna renew it, like I totally forgot about it and I did not remember it after that. So when she said renew, if you have a new health card, I'm looking at her like she's crazy. And then like a light bulb, like it hit me and I was like, let me see that health card for a minute. And I look at it and I realized, oh shoot, the date gone. Because the date was my birthday, right? Which is March. And which was in March. And I look at the health card and said, oh shoot. So she said, alright, don't worry about it, man. I'll let you see doctor for now or whatever. Which did I got fortunate in that way that she still allowed me to see a doctor or whatever, but you may not always have that opportunity because my health card rightfully was expired, so now I would have to go and get it renewed, and that takes time, right? So just make sure that you keep track of your health card. Make sure you renew it because you never know when you might have an emergency situation where you might have to go to the hospital or you might have to go to the doctor appointment or whatever, and you want to make sure you're covered for that. So basically, for the renewal process now, again, I just went to a Service Ontario nearby me, and I brought the proof again. Basically, I didn't really bring proof because in my wallet I always have my driver's license, my old health card is in there, and right, basically. So I just went with my wallet, and I showed her my driver's license, the old health card she looked at, so she was able to see that I had an old health card, so I didn't have to bring like proof of status, right? Um, and then I brought, what else did I show her? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think I just showed her my driver's license this time because I think the fact that I had an old health card and she could see my old health card, I didn't really have to like show much of anything.
Well, don't say because you had a health card before. She would have had your status probably in the computer.
Right,
before.
so she had my information in the
Right.
computer. So that's what I'm saying. I didn't really have to show anything because basically she looked at my old health card. Right, so I give her my old health card, I give her my driver's license as well, and then I did take a picture, which I was surprised about. I didn't think I would have to take another picture, but I did take a picture, and then basically that was it. She gave me the document that had my information on it. Now, when I looked at the document, I realized that I still had PR status because I had not updated it since I became a citizen. So what I did then was, after, well, I told her about it. She basically told me, just come back whenever you want and just bring me proof of citizenship. So I brought my passport. So I came back, I showed her my passport, then she asked me for my driver's license, she asked me for the health card again, just probably making sure that everything was connected, and then that was it. And you don't have to pay for a renewal either. You don't have to pay for a renewed health card. So basically, it's a very simple process. It's not like over the top. When you're getting it for the first time, like I said, you have to bring, you may have to bring your status. You will have to bring proof of status. You will have to bring proof of an address, and you will have to bring proof of ID. The renewal process, to me, in my opinion, was a lot easier. Mostly because I always walk my stuff anyway, which is my driver's license, my health card, and yeah, and my credit cards I always have or whatever. So it was pretty simple for me. And then of course, like I said, you don't really pay money either. So for the cards. So you have anything else to add?
Not really. I think you hit the nails on the head. I think that you did an awesome job with this topic, and as I said, with it, you have to. There's gonna. I'm going to try. I like it talking too fast. Gonna. I'm going to post a link under this video where you can see which jobs, the jobs that can give you a health card
On a work permit.
on a work permit. Yeah, I'll do that for you guys, and then I'll also post the link for Shanita with the information, how she got her information and stuff.
The
like
online
that.
website, basically.
Yeah, the online. Yeah.
But again, just a reminder, always make sure you check your expiration date on your health card. Again, I think I have to repeat that because it's so easy, especially when you have a 5-year date. It's so easy. It kind of reminds me of what I said about when we had a topic on immigration and we were talking about how the years fly by, and then you forget to, do what you have to do to make sure you're getting your work permit or your PR or whatever. Same thing with this. Like, the date is 5 years, so the time passes by fast, and then you don't really remember, right? Or you don't really check. So check for your expiration date on the health card, and make sure you do it 3 months before, so it gives you time. Because before your health card is expired, obviously you can keep using it up to the expiration date. So if you apply about 3 months before, that gives you a wide span of time to get the new one, and then you don't have to worry about if you have a medical emergency or if you have to go to the doctor for a specific reason or whatever. Because sometimes when you're not like someone who has to go to the doctor on a regular basis, you kind of take these things like for granted. You don't really be checking, right? Because you don't really have to go to the doctor. But you never know what can happen. Things just happen. So you just want to make sure that that's covered. So yeah, thank you again for watching another video.
Please like,
share, and subscribe.
Until next time. Bye bye.
Bye. See you.